so when, again, so let's just kind of summarize these things. If you had to go through, Shawn, you know, there's the majors. You said there were 6 things that everybody should be focusing on. Let's hit those 6 things from your perspective. And then Tom, if there's anything that you want to add to those, that would be helpful.
Well, so I mean, we identified 6 reasons why wealth transfers fail.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So, gosh, let me go through them all. Lack of meaningful communication, lack of transparency, lack of trust, lack of a shared vision, lack of system of process, and lack of governance are the 6 reasons why wealth transfers fail. And that's why we created our technology, and we created projects around each one of them. One is values, where we have 5 deliverables focused on values. One's legacy, one's governance, one's gratitude, which is our philanthropic project. So we built those around those pillars as to why wealth transfers fail, so we can mitigate that risk for families as best we can.
Love it. Tom, anything
and at the same time, though, which I think is critically important, not only help them mitigate the reasons why wealth transfers fail, but fit that busy, socially distanced, geographically dispersed lifestyle. We have found lots of ways in our 13 years to make family meetings more efficient, more impactful, and more purposeful as we've gone through the years. And we continue to fine tune and use those, but moving everybody towards that family meeting, which really is that wonderful blast of communication that you referenced earlier.
Perfect. Tom, anything to add to the majors?
Well, I think one of the big majors that many of the entrepreneurs are particularly interested in is the notion that entrepreneurs recognize they grew up in an entrepreneurial incubator. That interdependent environment that I was describing of a working class background is an incubator for entrepreneurship. And that's a culture that's quite different, because those very same people that grew up in an entrepreneurial incubator raised their children in an entrepreneurial kill zone. And they don't know why, they don't know differently. And so to help them understand how to reintroduce an entrepreneurial incubator mentality, an entrepreneur, we call it having a familyness culture linked to an entrepreneurial mindset. And what would that look like? Because that is a very different dynamic. I'm teaching a course at Gordon College on family governance, this very topic. But that's a major portion of the course, is how do you create an entrepreneurial environment and decision-making process at home? Because as was said earlier, the crux of the issue, the #1 biggest reason that families fail is due to lack of trust around group decision-making. And yet, if we build an independent family that it separates and doesn't know each other as well as they could, those are the very same people that are theoretically going to take over the family business when mom and dad are gone, but they have no experience at working together. So we're trying to reintroduce. To me, it's that families often are focusing on avoiding conflict, and they avoid until it explodes in their face. Well, how do you set an actual process of practicing and managing conflict? So when something of more significant consequence comes to bear, you can handle it. And that's exactly what the Greens are doing on those monthly meetings. They're creating the bridge of trust. So when they have the major crises, they actually can communicate in a trusting, honest way and get to that place of transparency. So, but they are a very entrepreneurial mentality in their family. And that's a culture most families don't know how to do.